Anyway, for now, we're still here. The murder case against Health Department official Babita, the murder case around the killing of a Gauteng Health Department official, Babita Deokaran, has been postponed to the 2nd of November. 6 suspects appeared at the Johannesburg Magistrates Court this morning. Deokaran was gunned down outside her home in August. She was a witness in a PPE corruption investigation. Meanwhile, the National Prosecuting Authority says investigations are still underway. For more on this, let me take you to eNCA's Pule Letshwiti-Jones, who is out at the Johannesburg Magistrates Court. Pule, so it is to be expected at these early stages that, there'll be many postponements before we get to a point where there's enough momentum in the matter for it to build up to go to trial. What is the reason for this postponement?
Well, a very good morning to us, and this time around what we're being told is that there is an issue around the audio technicalities which will then lead to transcripts having to be recorded. So the state is arguing that the case cannot continue if there isn't any transcripts, which will then be in the helm of the justice system, and of course within the system that will then allow them to use these transcripts when the matter goes to trial. They're arguing that if they were to continue without these transcripts, it would lead to legal technicalities, which would then see the acquittal of the accused. But joining me now is Phindi, Louw from the eNCA, who's going to give us more clarity around this. Phindi, thank you very much for joining us on eNCA. Now, a month later, there's still a postponement, and of course, I think the country wants to know as to how further will these postponements continue as well, because it seems as though there is a technical issue in regards to the recording of the proceedings.
Yes, indeed. There are technical problems regarding the recording machines in the courtroom. But however, we also don't have an answer as the NPA as to how long it will take. We believe that the matter is in the capable hands of the court manager here in Johannesburg. They'll have to deal with the challenges that we are facing here in court. As the NPA, we are only party to proceedings, and as you have heard us argue in court after the defense brought the proposal that the old version of longhand should be used to record the proceedings, or another alternative they thought was to record the audio into a compact disc. But as the state, we raised our own concerns and said that that will be too risky. Experience has taught us that some accused persons in other cases unduly benefited due to minor technicalities. So we are not willing to take that risk. We have said to the court that it's important for us to have a proper working system with no flaws, because we also know that the longhand version had its own flaws. It was not a perfect system, and therefore we would rather wait, sort out the problem so that the bail application proceedings can proceed.
I think the magistrate was quite strict on that one as well, which involves the one hand, of course, a recording on a disc. But furthermore, do we know if the investigations are at an advanced stage as well? Because the state seems to be quite ready with this case, saying they are ready to proceed, but they will all just want to make sure that there are correct measures and processes that will not jeopardize this matter.
Well, we are ready to proceed with the bail application itself. But in terms of being trial ready, we are not yet ready. The investigations are still ongoing. They are not concluded. Hence, we are now trying that even the bail proceedings itself, much as we are ready as the state, but we are not willing to take that risk. Much as the accused are complaining that justice delayed is justice denied, as the state we also raise our concern to say that justice rushed may be justice obscured. So we have to make sure that in this bail application proceeding, justice is served.
Just a last question. Come the 2nd of November and there's still technical areas that are persisting, does this mean the case will further be postponed again?
Well, obviously, it will be in the hands of the regional court president to take a decision on what to do with this matter going forward. Ours, as the NPA, we cannot move matters to any other court. We cannot come up with solutions. We are only party to the proceedings. Ours is to raise concerns where we deem fit and where we think there's a necessity to do so. But there are people who manage these processes, and we believe that it's in their capable hands. They will come up with a solution.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, there you go, Tulas. Like Phindi from NPA said, they're arguing that Justice Rust is justice obscured, and they're saying that while they're ready to proceed with the bail application matter, they want to ensure that all processes are being recognized and are followed, especially within this matter here. But telling you now what the defense representing the six suspects said, that it was quite concerning that his client was still in the dock a month later, and it's saying that there was a delay on the state's side. But this is still a matter of audio technicalities that are persisting, and they have further argued that if this issue could be resolved earlier, we could just be hearing an earlier date and the commencement of this matter going underway.
Pule, just before I let you go, did it emerge in court whether these audio recording issues have to do with the recent cyber attack that the Department of Justice suffered? All right, I don't know if Pule can still hear me. Pule, if you can still hear me, I'm wondering
I can hear you again, Tulas.
I'm wondering
yes,
if it emerged in court whether these issues with audio recordings have to do with the massive cybersecurity breach that the Department of Justice suffered recently.
Well, that's the main concern, but they're not making it. They did not make that as a submission before courts to say this is an issue that involved the massive cyber attack that happened recently. Or they were just saying that this is an issue that has been persisting for a while, and we saw this happen previously with a court appearance that had just happened there, and they're saying that they're trying to resolve it. In fact, what happened was before the matter could proceed, they went on to test whether the matter could proceed and have the recordings recorded on the disk. But what then emerged was that the data was then not revealing, meaning that there was a compromise on that side of having to actually use the other alternative of disks. So they're saying that their systems are still vulnerable for now, and that they have to look into this issue. What is also quite concerning is that when you go into another courtroom, there seems to be audio working on that side. So it's just a matter that the magistrate court here needs to look into as well before commencing with the next proceeding of this matter.
All right, thank you for that. eNCA's Pule Letshwiti-Jones out at the Magistrates Court in Johannesburg. I wonder if this is linked to the cybersecurity attack that the Department of Justice suffered recently. It's had massive implications throughout the system, including at the Master's office, we're hearing. So I think it's a conversation that we should pick up here on all angles and basically start asking questions. How widespread and how damaging was that cybersecurity breach, that attack that the department suffered recently, and what are the consequences for the administration of justice on a daily basis?